Hi, it's Brandilyn, and this is Insta Coaching, where you submit topics that you would like to be personally coached on, and I coach you right here on my Instagram story. So I've been talking a lot about distinguishing the difference between creating and reacting. So reacting to the circumstances of life versus creating. I've been getting some feedback that you all want more coaching on how specifically to shift into creating mode. So today's Insta Coaching is a step-by-step guide for how to have more creative power in your life to produce the results that you want. Step 1, get out a piece of paper and write down all of the results that you currently have with which you are dissatisfied, unhappy. What do you want that you don't currently have in terms of your finances, your career, your health, your fitness, your relationships, your passion, adventure, fun? Once you have all of those down, then circle one of them that you really want to go to work on right now. Let's say, for example, that you picked that you don't currently have the kind of reach or impact or influence that you want to have on others. Now, you can go through and do this for all of the results in your life that you're dissatisfied with, but we want to start with one so that we can really clearly illustrate how this. So starting with the one result that you picked with which you are dissatisfied, ask yourself the question, what ways have I been being that have produced this result? To answer this question, it requires you to come from the perspective that you are 100% responsible for your life. Now, a lot of people get defensive at this stage and say, well, it's not my fault that I'm not producing the results that I want. I'm a product of my circumstances. I'm not talking about fault or blame. I'm not talking about right or wrong. It's not the truth that you are 100% responsible for your life. It is a perspective that gives you power. We have no power when we are blaming outside circumstances. The only true place that we have power is when we choose the perspective that we're responsible. We are the cause of our results. From this perspective, we can see that whatever results we currently have are merely a reflection of the ways that we were being in the past. So if you don't have the results that you want in your life, then that just means that you weren't being who you want to be. So what way were you being? If you don't have the influence that you currently want to have, then were you being selfish, inauthentic, uncommitted, out of integrity, resistant, disallowing, distrustful? Your only access to power is in identifying the ways that you were being that produced this result that you don't want to have. What way were you being such that you created something that you don't want? See, when you discover the way that you were being that produced the result that you don't want, it's so exciting. It's like discovering a rare artifact. And you gotta own it. Like, yeah, I was being selfish, I was being inauthentic, and that's why I don't have the results that I want. Woohoo! Our only access to greatness is admitting our smallness. Our access to creating more of what we do want in the future is by admitting how we were being in the past that created what we currently have that we don't want. See, as soon as you discover the way of being that produced an unwanted result, you now have power over it because you can see it, so it can't control you anymore. Once you see it, you can stop it. So stop being that way. Stop creating more of what you don't want. That's a crazy thing to do. And if you really can't see how you are being for yourself, then phone a friend. Say, hello, what way do you think I'm being that's leaving me with no money? And then accept responsibility and stop being that way. And now that we've deleted our old ways of being, we now have a blank space in which we can create new ways of being. So who could you be that would inspire you? If being selfish isn't cutting it for you anymore, then try being generous. If being critical and analytical is no longer producing the results that you want, then try being affirming and supportive. If you're not producing the results that you want to produce, then that is your alarm clock telling you that it is time to pick some new ways of being and acting. It's the universe asking you to step into being a way that you've never had to be before. Maybe it's time for you to step into leadership. Maybe it's time for you to forgive. Maybe it's time for you to be creative, authentic, honest, and self-expressed. And now, once you've picked a few ways of being that inspire you, it's time to ask yourself, what actions would I take if I were being that way? If you were being confident and courageous, what actions would you take? If you were being a supportive leader, what actions would you take? If you were being bold and exciting, what actions would you take? Now actually schedule those actions in your calendar and then go do them when you say that you're going to do them. So this is how we get into creative mode. From nothing, we choose what way of being is going to inspire us, and then we generate actions from that place. Fixating on whatever results you currently have is you just dwelling in the past. Those results are just a reflection of who you used to be. You don't need permission to get to be who you want to be. Who cares about what results you currently have? Choose who you want to be and then take actions from that place. Those actions will produce the results that you want. So there you go. There is how to get into creative mode. Message me with more requests for Insta coaching, and I'll see you next time.